Hello, this video is about how you can create forms and landing pages for your Moosend account. You can create landing pages which are basically standalone pages in all Pro plans, which then you can get the URL of your landing page and paste it on your social or send it through your campaigns to your people or just share it with anyone that you want, etc., etc., etc. And forms can be created in all types of plans, even the free plan. And you can use forms to publish them on your site and capture email addresses from your people in order to populate your lists, etc., etc., etc. So I'll just go ahead and actually open my free site just for it to load up. And then here is how you can create first a landing page. Both options are found inside the lead generation section of your Moosend account right here. You have your landing pages and your subscription forms. You can create a new one from here. When you go to create a landing page, you basically see some options. So you can set the name of your landing page, test landing page, let's say. You can set up your SEO settings if you want, or if you do not want, you can just leave them empty. And then you go to create your campaign, your landing page, sorry. So you go inside your designer like so. And from here, you can select through a range of pre-created templates if you like, or just create your own and have them ready to use them at any given time that you want, or just create something from scratch and build it as you want. When you use a pre-created template, you can of course edit it however you like. For example, this one. If you go inside this one, you will see that it's pre-created and it has some certain containers right here. But I can also add my own if I want, or just add any extra elements I want to the pre-created one. So let's say that I want to add a form right below where it says Quarter Hotel. I'll just go and take the form element, just put it right here, and when I click on it, I can actually choose the display message that will be shown when someone submits the form. I can even preview that message if I like. I can choose the list in which it will be connected to, and I can also edit my custom fields of that list by clicking on the edit custom field section and then just clicking to add any custom fields that I want, which of course I can make as required, or I can have it as hidden and pre-fill it with a value. So let's say that you have two landing pages that lead to the exact same list. You would use this option with a custom field as hidden with a pre-filled value, let's say landing page 1 and landing page 2. So then you could make a segment inside your list regarding the value that is included on that custom field, so you know which people came from landing page 1 and which came from landing page 2. That's a very common use case regarding the hidden value that you can choose from here. Or the rest, and the last one is to make this field read-only, which will actually make it non-editable for your recipients. For example, if you want to make the email address non-editable, you can use it like that. Or if you have a specific custom field that shows a value for all people and you do not want them to be able to edit that value if they are of course inside your list, then you would make it non-editable, etc., etc., etc. So let's say that I make both of these required and I click on close. So now I have email and name, and both of them are required, meaning for me to be able to submit my form, I need to have filled in both options from here. You have, of course, options like changing the layout of your button to whatever you like. I'll just change the color to slight red and then the text to full black. So that's what you have. You can add any extra elements that you want, which you can find here, which is form, a video, which you can upload from YouTube or Vimeo, a timer, for example, a custom HTML element in which you can add any custom HTML that you wish, a social follow button or a social share button, a spacer, even an article from your website, or a button that leads to a specific URL, let's say, or a text element, which is like this one, for example, or lastly, an image element. Of course, you have a button here, so I can demonstrate with that. When you click on the button, you have some options. You can set your redirection link for it. So let's say that I wanted to redirect to a specific page of my test WordPress site. So let me just log into that. Sorry about that. So let's say that I want my button to redirect to this specific page, in which case I would go to my editor. While I click on the button, I would just set my URL where it says button link. I can change the name of the button, go to my test site, for example, and of course you can edit pretty much anything that you like here. You can set a background image, for example, the background image that you can see right here can be edited from here. When you click on the settings of this container, you can just remove it if you like, or just any other image that you want. Or you could add the background color, for example, etc., etc., etc. You can have all options right here. So you can freely play around with them. You also have an option to view how your landing page will be shown on mobile. So you go to view mobile landing page and you get to see it right here. And also you can make some specific changes in the layout of the landing page, of the mobile landing page, which of course you can find on the left of your mobile landing pages menu. So then you can also go to the preview option right here, just to preview how your landing page will be shown. This is the desktop view, as you can see. Then we have iPad or a tablet view, one would say. So you can just scroll down to see how it shows. Think of this as the maximum of your screen. So as big as your screen is, this will be as big as well. And then you have the mobile view, which is like this, and you get to preview all three of them. Then you can basically just proceed to the next step. Once you've finished creating your design, your landing page design, once it's ready, you can proceed to the next step in order to finish up with the rest of the info that you need for your landing page. And once you are ready, you can simply set it live. So let's go ahead and do that. First option that I have is the sharing settings. So meaning you set here what will be shown when you share the URL of your landing page to Facebook or Twitter, and also if you want to show an image along with it, etc., etc., etc. Then you proceed to next, and you have conversion and tracking section. You can track conversions, and I will show you when to see them once I set it live. You can track between two options on form subscribe or on button click. If you have an external form in your landing page, you choose this option. And of course, if you have Google Analytics, you can connect it to your landing page. You need to get your tracking ID from your Google Analytics and paste it here. Or if you have Facebook Pixel, you can track with Facebook Pixel as well your conversion to your landing page. Again, you need to get the ID of your Facebook Pixel and paste it here. And of course, you can have both of the two at the same time. You have no issues there. Then you can also choose if you want to show a warning for cookie acceptance or just accept it without showing anything, and then proceed to next. Here you have the option to set your the URL of your landing page. By default, you have an option that is given to you in the branding and domains section right here. You have your default platform domain, which is this one right here, and also you have your default landing pages domain, which is this one right here. And if you want, you can of course add a scene name for your landing pages, and also you can add a scene name for your platform domain from up here. I've added a scene name for my landing page, so I can actually just see it up here apart from my default landing page domain. So I'll just choose that. This cannot be edited, and also this cannot be edited, but you can edit the path of the landing page to whatever you like. For example, I can add a knee, I can remove a knee, I can do whatever I like. Let's proceed to next. Once you've checked everything in the summary section and you're good to go, you simply set your landing landing page live. And once set live, you have its URL right below it, so you can just click on it, open a new tab, and then just paste it right there. In which case, you can of course test subscribe if you want to just test it out. As you can see, I was added on the list, and if I go to my mailing list right here and right here, I can find myself inside this list, and the source now says form since I was added via a form. Also, this button, I've added it to lead to this page, so let's close that and let's open this button like so. It actually leads to the URL that I've set it to lead, etc, etc, etc. So everything works perfectly fine regarding that. Now, for analytics regarding your landing pages, when you go to the landing pages in the lead generation section, you see that you have some analytics that you can see right here. These do not populate real time, so do not be alarmed if someone subscribes and you do not see the conversion right away. It will come in a short while normally. Then we have the subscription forms. You have many options for forms. You can again create them from here in the create subscription form section like so. And you have the option of a modal pop-up form, which actually pops up when someone visits a specific page, let's say, of your site that you can choose. Then you have an inline form, which is an embedded form inside your site. You have a floating bar form, which is a bar either on top or at the bottom of your selected page. A floating box which can be shown at the bottom right or left of the page that you selected to be shown, and also a full page form, which is more or less like a landing page, so it will cover the entire section of the page that someone visits, but it's still a form. Just as an example, I'll go and create a modal pop-up. All of them have pretty much the exact same logic. The only one that differs between all of them is the inline form. So in my example, I'll show how to create a modal pop-up form and an inline form. So let's start with the modal pop-up. You go to create and you set a name for it. So test pop-up, let's say. So then you have the option to create your form. The options are pretty much the same as the landing page. So I'm just gonna go ahead to use a template from here and then just proceed. I'll use, let's say, this one. I'll just use this one. So on the forms, you have some specific options which you can choose from. You cannot add more or extra on those. You can only edit the ones that you see here. So if you want to edit, let's say, this option, you can of course edit it however you like, or this text element you can edit however you like, or change your form however you like, but you cannot add extra elements to your form. So it's pretty straightforward regarding what you can do. You can edit then each section of your form accordingly. For example, the background color, I could change it to something darker or a green form, let's say, or something like that. And I can edit my button and pretty much everything that I want in terms of what I have and what I can edit. So once that's done and you finished editing here, you proceed to the next steps. And you have the option to set any extra visibility rules that you want from your form. For example, when should the form show up? It should show since last appearance, let's say, meaning since the last time that a specific person saw your form, how much time to wait. I'll just set it to 1 second now so I can freely test. And then this is for the first appearance, so after 5 seconds. You can even set your form to not show up to people who submitted it, and then you can also use extra conditional rules for hiding or showing your form depending on your choices. For example, if you wanted it to show on a specific page, you would need to add the path of that page. So let's say that I wanted to show up on this specific page, Nicola's test page. Let me go to the page. I would need to get the path of my page, this one right here, and then just go in the rules for showing the form. And so if the URL path contains, and let's say this name, so when you click on outside the box, you will see that it goes on a blue button. That means that it saved the change. You click on next, and here you have the options regarding how to publish the form on your site. So if you've set up tracking for your site, you will be able to find your site. When you click on this button right here and click on the drop down, you see both your landing pages, your created landing pages here, and also any tracked websites. So my site is tracked right here. And just click on it, and then I click on next, and my option is saved. If my site was not tracked, you need to go to the embed or publish to external platforms menu and click on embed your form right here. Copy the script that you find right here and paste it in the header of your site. That will allow your form to show up again. So let's go ahead and add it on my site, and then click on publish. There you go. So my form is now published successfully, and I will see some analytics for it right here. Please note that for this to happen, your site, your form needs to be published on a tracked site, and you will not be able to see analytics if you simply get the script of the form, since your site is not tracked, so we cannot see page viewed object or the identify object, etc., etc., etc. So we cannot give you any analytics if you do not have your site tracked for this occasion. So once I refresh my page, my form should normally show up right here. So let's go ahead and refresh it again. And I see this is a floating bar that I had created for this site. This is another pop-up, and the green one should show up in a short while. So let's go ahead and see the inline as well. The inline has a tiny difference from the rest of the forms. I will show you right now. So first we'll go to create a form, and we choose inline from here. Then we set the name for it, and we choose we go inside the designer so we can create our form. So you copy it from here, you select, let's say, this one from here, you proceed to next steps. I don't really need to make any changes right now, since the layout is pretty much the same as the pop-up. The only difference between the inline form and the rest of the forms is that it has a div line in the visibility settings, which you need to copy and then paste inside your site where you need to your form to show up. So first you set it live on your site, and then while on the summary section, you click on publish. You have the div line copied, and you need to go in the dashboard of your site. This is my test WordPress site, so I'll just go inside here and edit, let's say, this page. And I need to add my div line as a shortcode. Just paste it right here. There it is. So I'll just add my div line in the shortcode like so. And then I will go and update my page. Here you go. And then when I go to view your page, let's close this one. As you can see, my inline form is this one right here, and it's shown where, and this is the pop-up as well, the green one. And wherever I add my div line, that's where my form will show up. So that's the only difference between the inline forms and the rest of the forms. You need to copy the div line and paste it where you need your form to show up, apart from, of course, publishing the form on your site. Then, of course, as well as the landing pages, the analytics are here to be shown to you, and they are not real time, so it may take a while for them to show up to gather any analytics, etc. But you will see the some analytics right here regarding the impressions, conversions, and conversion rate of your form. So that's basically how you can create forms and landing pages. And of course, you have the options, some options up here, for example, filter by status. You can filter by the incomplete ones. If I had any, there would be shown. Actually, let me create one. So I'll just unpublish this one. So if I go to choose unpublished, it will show me this one. And as you can see here is the analytic. It came in from the impression as well, the one that I saw my form. If I now go and make this published, it will go away from this selection right here. And if I had any forms that are not complete yet, so incomplete, and choose that, I would see these. And also when I choose the published ones, I see them right here. Or I could filter by a label if I add a label to my forms right below here. So let's say that I add the label test, and I go to filter by label. I select test. It will only show me any forms that have this label inserted. And also I can filter by type if I want, which are all the types that you can select while creating your form. So if I want to see only inline forms, I can select that and it will show me only inline. Or if I have only modal pop-ups, it will show me those. Or if I wanted to see only floating bars, it will show me those, etc., etc., etc. The exact same options are on the landing pages as well. As you can see, the landing page also shows the impressions, conversion views right now. And you can filter by a label if I had a label here. So let's say test one and click enter to save the label. Then I can see it right here. It will show me anything that has this label added. Status, again, incomplete, published, and unpublished. And you can, of course, search for any if you want, both in forms and in landing pages.